Hello, it's Crafty Carol here again with another project for you. And Gus, we've got Gus with us as well. He loves joining in. Anyway, today's project is quite a long video. I am going to cut it down a little bit just to show you the cards, but it is a gift box including some cards. So I've made it with the lovely Kraft gift boxes you can get as a set. So easy to make up. And if we open this up, you can see the cards in it. So you can get 6 cards in here, and there's the envelopes already stamped as well. And these are the cards. I'll show you in more detail, but I've got 2 birthday cards, a Friends Forever card, a couple of best wishes cards, which could obviously be birthdays or whatever, a feel better card, here's the other best wishes card, and another happy birthday card. Got the idea from a wonderful demo who made a lovely set similar to this, but using the smaller craft cards and envelopes, and I developed it from there. And I decided to use the glorious Cottage Rose stamp set with these lovely images, and particularly for these, we use all of these sentiments in the project. So it includes the Cottage Flowers dies, and I have used them. These are the dies I'm using. These are the ones from the Cottage Rose set, plus a couple from the Splendid Stems set. It's a bundle that comes with the Splendid Thoughts stamp set. It's the Splendid Stems dies. Gosh, there's a lot of S's to say there. And it cuts out the most beautiful bits. You can see I've already cut out a lot of these bits, quite a lot of die cutting in this project, which obviously I'm not going to film because that's boring. Oh, they've got wrapped up. I need to undo those. There we go. So you've got the single flower, the double flower. Hope this is coming into focus okay. The little tiny, I call that the flower bud, then a couple of different leaves. So many lovely things. I've cut all of these embellishments. These are from the Stylish Shapes set, which I love these dies as well. And these are all the embellishments for this project are cut out of our gorgeous gold foil. So without further ado, we'll get into the project. So I'll show each card separately along with the box, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along. Obviously you could use any set for this that's got sort of embellishments that you want to put together, so feel free. If you want this particular one, I do actually have a PDF which is available from my online shop at craftycarolscards.co.uk. Okay, so let's get on and make some cards. Okay, so this is card 1. For all of these cards, I've used Very Vanilla as my card base, and I've used a piece of Kraft card, which is just 1/2 centimetre less each way. So that is, oh, can't think of it, 10 by 14.3. And the DSP I've used, so you need 7 sheets of DSP, 6 cards and the box, and that is 13.8 by 9.5. One of them we're going to trim down, but I'll show you that later. So the first card I'm going to make the Feel Better Soon. As I say, I've cut all of the embellishments out of gold foil, and I've also hope you can see the shine on that. I've also embossed all the greetings and cut them out. And this was actually from, is it Stylish Shapes or is it Beautiful Shapes dies? Can't remember. One of the die, might have been an old rectangle die, this one, but whatever. Cut it out or punch it out, doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put this one together. And for this one, we're going to have the sentiment near the bottom, and I've just cut out with the Stylish Shapes dies one of the chevron pieces to put behind it, and I'm going to stick the sentiment directly onto, just move that out of the way a second, directly onto the gold foil piece. So that means just putting a little bit of glue or tape, if you prefer, in the middle, and we're going to just stick that on. Do it the right way up, then I'll know. There we go. So I'm just going to let that stick for a little bit. When you're using gold foil, I do find it better to use either tape or Tombow. Just be a bit careful. Make sure it's dried before you try and use it, because it will remain movable a little bit for ages. So while we're waiting for that to dry, just to tell you, I've actually already stamped the inside of my cards. For all of my cards, for inside and on the envelope, I've used soft suede ink. So again, I've used a mix of the different sentiments in the set and the lovely flower, little group of flowers in the set. So for this one, very simple to put together. To stick the flowers down, now there's several ways to do it. You can either be very posh and use a little silicone mat with some glue on, or you can do what I do, which is just put a little bit of glue on the back of your hand, because I actually quite enjoy scraping it off later. And you just want to just get a little bit of each of the flowers just glued, including the stem. And so we'll have one flower just there. Again, I'm just going to hold it down, make sure it sticks, and we're going to put this one. They're lovely, these flowers, but they are a little bit delicate, so just be a little bit careful. And that one we will have over there. There we go. And then very simply, I am going to put this on with dimensionals, if I can find my dimensionals, which were the other side of the room. So here we go. So I'm just going to, thank you Gus, we're just going to put a couple of dimensionals on there and pop that over the bottom of the stems. And there's our first card. So the second card, let's make one of the birthday cards. Again, I've sorted out all the pieces, cut them out of gold foil. So for this one, I need a few bits of the gold foil cuts, my happy birthday already embossed, and I've just cut, this is an old punch actually, which I just love. I'll never get rid of this one, I love it. Oh, I forgot to put the gems on the other card. Let's just do that. Where's my card? The other thing you can do, of course, is just dot a few gems around. I've been using these lovely champagne rhinestone basic jewels for these cards. I really like the fact, I think they match the gold quite well. I didn't actually want gold gems, but I thought just a few of these. So for this one, we're just going to stick just randomly 2 or 3. Whoops, I don't want it quite there. Let's have it on there. I'll have a smaller one too up there. For gems, just a little bit of a thought with them. I would always use an odd number. For some reason, it just looks better on a card. So that's our Feel Better Soon properly finished this time. Let's carry on with our birthday card here. So for this one, we're going to put the greeting in the middle of the card, and I'm going to stick the happy birthday again across the middle of my cutout shape. So you could use you know, a diamond, if you've got any other diamond punches or whatever, just see what you've got. So it's going across the middle, so I can actually put the glue on the shape and stick this across. Of course, I'm getting sticky and that's not helping. So I just want to make sure it is in the middle, and a good way to do that is turn it over, and then you can just check that you really have got it equal both sides. The beauty of Tombow, gives a little bit of wriggle room, so I know that is now in the centre of my diamond. So for this card, what I actually did is use a piece of tear and tape in the middle to stick some of the things down, because we're going to be covering up what's there, but to stick things down, it's actually going to be a lot easier to use a piece of tape on the card. So if I take the topping of that tape off, I'm going to use some ribbon behind here because I think it looks nice. So we're just going to have a couple of pieces of ribbon just going across the card, something like that, and a slight other angle, probably like that. So they can stick down on the tape, which is really useful. And then we can also use the tape to stick down some of these other bits. So I might put a little bit of glue, still got a bit on the back of my hand there, but I can stick the end into the tape and then I know it's not going to move anywhere. I'm going to put another bit down there, probably this little leaf, just tuck behind. There we go. Just check that's going to look okay. Yes, it is. And then we're going to have this flower coming up here. Just going to trim the end of that. I don't want the stem showing at the other side of the sentiment block. And finally, this little one, just stick that there. There we go. Hold those down for a minute, make sure they're stuck down, and then I'm not stuck to it. And again, just using a couple of dimensionals in the middle. And that is the next card. And again, we're going to finish it off with a couple of gems. This time I think I'll use two large ones, just one above and one below my happy birthday, just to look really rather nice. You can put more or less, up to you, but that's my second card, happy birthday card. Okay, card 3, and you can see why I've prepared all of these things earlier. This I'm making a landscape card, and it's again going to be a happy birthday card. And this time we're going to stick these bits of ribbon so they come out behind this. So again, I'm going to use tear and tape rather than anything else, but this time I'm going to stick the ribbon to the back of this. And that's because I want to make sure it's coming out evenly, and if I stick the ribbon on the card, I might not have this exactly where I want it. So, oops, spare bit of ribbon there. So we'll have bits going that way. Oops, don't want it going too much at an angle for this card, but a little bit of one. There we go. That's not even. Let's try that again. And the other one going across there. There we go. I'll trim that one a little bit. Don't want it quite that long. Same with this one. There we go. Okay, so I'm happy with that as a base. Oop. Making a mess. And so the next stage for this one is, again, I'm going to have that roughly there. So I'm going to use my little gold bits and stick them around where I want. What I love about sticking glue on the back of my hand is I can peel it off afterwards, because I really like that. I don't know, I'm just funny sometimes. All my bits are getting tangled. I think I'll have another little leaf on here as well. Yeah. So we'll have that one going somewhere up there, I think. And I'm going to have my big leaf coming down here. Getting sticky. Wonderfully sticky. And we'll have the final leaf coming just up there. And then again, I'm going to stick this to there and put it on with some dimensionals. So a little bit of glue across the middle. Stick this on here. Again, try and get it in the middle. I'm going to hold that for a second or two till it's really stuck. Should have done that first so it could dry while I was sticking the other bits on, and then it's going to go on there with some dimensionals. Let's try it, it might be ready. Oh, see, this is where I meant, oh, there we go. That just moved a bit. Perhaps do that bit first, folks. There we go. Stop moving around. I'll leave you to stick. There we go. So that's another little birthday card. Again, you can add extra gems, but to be honest, this gorgeous DSP, I think there's enough bling in that anyway with my gold foil accents. So we'll leave that one for there, I think. The next card. Ooh, already fallen out. This one is going to be a best wishes card, similar to the other one. Now for this one, I've done something a little bit different. I've actually, rather than using a Kraft card base, I've actually offset a piece of soft succulent card cut to the same size as the DSP, 9.5 by 13.8, and I've just offset it. Can you see? I've just put it at an angle, and then I've put the DSP at an angle on top. I just think sometimes you want to be a little bit different rather than just having plain layers on the card, plain panels and things. Just a little bit of an angle can make quite a difference. So I quite like this one. So again, I'm going to stick some flowers and things around. A bit wobbly. Really should use a silicone mat, shouldn't I? But hey. So, ooh, let's get a little bit of the flower again. And we'll have that coming up to the side here, I think. And we'll have this leaf. I'll put another leaf in somewhere. Let's see. I'll have this leaf coming down here. I'll get in roughly the right place. That's going to go across the middle. And we'll have this one coming up here. And let's have another little leaf. Let's have this one. That's the same as that one. Let's have a different one. No. Let's have another one of those. There we go. I think these are little flowers. I'm not quite sure what these are supposed to be. But they're nice and they cut out a lovely shape. So for this one, oh dear. And I think that would be big enough. I've got a spare piece of this ribbon, so I might as well use it. So I think what I will do is put a little bit of tear and tape in the middle of the front of this one here. So this is the big chevron from the Stylish Shapes set. And we'll have this just going across there, I think. Why not? It needs to go just very slightly more that way. But it's just sticking out either side. That's nice. And then this time I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of the greeting. I'll put that on the middle here. And then I'm going to use tape on the back of here to stick it down to the card. So it's totally up to you which way you put all of these together. You know, you can put everything on dimensionals or have very little on dimensionals, have the sentiment and on dimensionals on the backing, or have the dimensionals underneath the chevron bit. It's up to you. So there we go. That's a best wishes card with the offset paper underneath. And I think I've got that straight. That's the only problem with the offset idea at the front, because you have to then make sure that your greeting's actually straight. So that's that card. The next one. Again, I've just gone plain with the bits on the front. And what I'm doing for this one is so the last two, I'm going to use another element with, there we go, got them sticking to me, that's not good, which is some linen thread. I'm nearly out of linen thread, look. Luckily I've got another one, so I will have plenty, not a problem. But I think sometimes just mixing it up a little bit is nice. So for this one, again, I'm going to stick a piece of ribbon across the middle of my chevron. I think it's because, to be honest, the chevron here is just a little bit bleak. I don't know, it's very big, even when you put the sentiment on top. So I just think it needs something else. But you may just like it plain, totally up to you. that one, it's not coming off the edge of the chevron, that's fine, I don't mind that. Only just the very tip, which is fine. So I've stuck that on there. So for this one, I'm just going to wrap some linen thread around the back of this. So if I have that on that way, I want it on this end. And I'm just going to stick a little bit of tape on, because this is my simple way to put some thread on anything. And then I can use that to stick it as I make the figure of 8. So I'm going to stick the end of my linen thread on there, and then I can just wind it round and round, forming little figures of 8. This is probably going to come off the reel, but I don't think that matters. Bring that one round, and I can twist it if I need to. This one actually is not being too bad. Sometimes it twists in odd ways, linen thread, and you have to fiddle with it a little bit. There we go. Then I can trim the end, not with my, oh, I can't find my other scissors, but these will do. Trim the end and stick it down again to the tape. So that's going nowhere, but it's an easy way to provide a figure of 8 backing to your sentiment. So I quite like that. A little bit there, might use that again in a minute. So I'm going to put this on here and just have the decorations around it really. So let us put some of those on again. We will have the leaves somewhere near the bottom, I think. So have those there. And the next one just along from it there. Ooh, stick. Getting so sticky on my fingers, I'm actually sticking to these things more than I should do. Probably need to go and just wash my hands before I finish this off. So again, as I say, use a silicone sheet if you don't want to get messy like this, but I don't know, there's something rather nice actually about peeling off the glue when you've finished, which I rather like. So I think we'll have that on dimensionals, why not? So we'll put one over there, which is an extra little bit to help. Two probably do. So we'll have this sitting across there, and we will stick this on the top. So this is I can't remember what this punch is called. No, but it's one of the tag punches. I think it's still available. It might be retired. I can't remember. Is that in the middle? Yeah. I'm just going to hold that down because, again, I forgot to stick it on at the start. And as I've warned you, it doesn't stick to gold foil terribly easily. But that's my next card. Then finally, for the final card, this one, there's no bits. There we go. Oh, throwing them about. For this one, I've done the front slightly differently. So this time I've cut this piece of DSP 9.5, but by 12. So I've trimmed a bit off, and I've cut the whole piece into 4 3cm panels and just randomly stuck them across the middle of the card. So for this one, again, I'm using a Kraft base. And I'm going to use the rest of this linen thread. It's just a little bit left, so let's see if we could use that. Might need to add a bit more from my new piece, but what the heck. And again, I'm going to stick it to the back of this. And this time, we'll have it coming out each side. May not have enough here, but we'll see. So I'm going to start it off at one end, and we'll have some coming out there. Coming back to the other end. Coming out there. I'm just going to have enough, I think. Otherwise I can't. Oh, No, I'm not going to. I can make that ring a little bit less, and then I might just have enough. Otherwise I can cut it and make 2 different ones. So I might just cut it so I make sure I've got plenty to do a final bit of a figure of 8. So just enough, I think. Whoa, that was tight. There we go, just enough there. Phew. Probably going to stick down, there we go. There. So I'm going to have that in the centre. And again, just putting, be sensible, stick this on first, Carol. There we go. So I'm going to stick that across the middle. This is the Friends Forever sentiment. I've just put one of these in the pack. I don't know how many people would use that. I rather like it, but it's not something I would always do for a card. Again, because, I don't know, birthdays are easier. But I quite like Friends Forever. I like the sentiment, so I thought we'd do one card with that on. So again, I'm just going to stick some of these down. Just using leaves this time, just to be a bit different rather than using the flower one. So again, I'm going to put this roughly in the middle. So we'll have the leaves dotted about. Oh, can't pick that one up. And these 2 just at the bottom. So sticky now. These are lovely. This particular one, this is from the Splendid Stems dies. Absolutely beautiful, but very easy to damage, so be careful. There we go. And finish this one off again with a couple of, got the top stuck to my finger, with a couple of dimensionals. And that can go there. And again, I think just to finish this one off, we will have another couple of gems just above and below, like we did with the happy birthday before. And there we have all of the cards made up. So Friends Forever, best wishes, another best wishes, a happy birthday, a feel better soon, and a final happy birthday. So those are all the cards, all done. Just going to leave those to finish drying. Again, you can add a little bit more gems if you want. You can use different die cuts. It's up to you, but they really are just lovely cards. So to finish off, we want to do the box. Oh, and by the way, I have already stamped the envelopes just using that little 3 flower stamp again. So this is the box, and these are the Kraft boxes, and they come ready taped. So you've already got tape on all the tabs, and I've stuck this together so it's to form the box. Very, very simple. So to decorate the box, my final piece of DSP I've stuck behind the front piece here. So I've stuck it behind because I think it looks easy, it's better and it covers it better. So I've just used tape to stick that down around the aperture. Then what I've done with the ribbon, I've made sure I've cut enough ribbon so that I've got enough to tie it. So it's roughly 30 inches for the ribbon. And I've just stuck it around the front of the box. I don't want to stick it around the rest of the box because it would make it slightly more difficult to open. Just a bit, but that's my choice. You can do, if you want to stick it all the way around, totally up to you. I find just wrapping it round is enough. So to finish, let's put the envelopes in. We might as well put those in. I'm leaving the cards just to finish the glue drying, and then I'll put them in as well at the end. So to finish off the decoration, I've used the lasting labels and decorative circle punch. So that I'm using there on the front, and I'm going to use this one. This is the lasting label. Again, an embossed sentiment I'm going to stick on the front there, and I'm going to stick it on with some dimensionals. So we'll stick this on here. Just onto the middle. Why am I doing it on the box? I've no idea. So I just want to make sure it's in the middle. So excuse my head getting in the way again. So I'm sticking it on in the middle, and then I'm going to use just some tape to stick it onto the box itself, because I don't want it coming off, and I don't want too much dimension on the front because it's going to look a bit odd. So I'm going to put the tape on, but not stick it on yet, because I want to work out where I'm putting all the rest of my decorations. So for these, I've got some flowers and leaves again, and I'm just going to dot them all around here, stick them all down and make it up. So rather than you see me sticking all those together, let me come back to the one I've already made, and here's the bits I've stuck around, added a gem in the middle, and that's the end of this box. So you'll see this finished one, it's on the front of this video, and I hope you enjoyed watching me put these together, and I hope you have a go at something similar. I think they're going to make great gifts for Christmas, and I'm looking forward to making one or two more actually. Thank you for joining me. Please do subscribe to this channel if you enjoy what I make, and pop to the website craftycarolscards.co.uk, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.